I don't want my fitness or my health to ever be a question.
Right.
If someone's like, hey, do you want to come do this? Like, I don't want to be like, ooh, like
Yeah.
I need to go train for that, or I'm not sure I could do that. I don't want that to ever stop me from doing something that's fun or exciting or that someone asked me to do, because I'm not sure I can handle it fitness or health-wise. Welcome to Above the Standard, a CrossFit Topside podcast. I'm Kevin.
And I'm Hayley, and we'll dive into fitness, healthy habits, and mindset.
We're here to share stories from members, insights from coaches, and strategies to help you level up in the gym and in life.
So chalk your hands, focus your mind, and join us as we strive to live above the standard. Thank you for bringing this back. I didn't have it last week with Chuck.
We forgot the plant last week, so.
Yeah.
It was off. Felt weird.
It did feel weird. I think it's important that we include why we have the plant back here, or a little bit more about the plant. I don't know that it's like a why behind why we have it on like our setup, but the plant was actually is a money tree that was sent to us, I think, within our first 2 weeks of being open. And it was sent by one of my old college teammates. Her parents heard we were opening and sent us this little plant. And if you know me, I'm really bad at keeping plants alive.
Really bad.
Thank you.
Just emphasizing
Thank you for reinforcing that. And so I'm, with the help of people at the gym, people take care of it.
Oh,
and the one in the bathroom too.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
People water it.
Yeah. Yeah, if it wasn't for the community, this plant would not be here with us today.
But I mean, there's parts of the plant that are not looking so great, but repotted it. It's grown, and it's here. It's
great.
Here 4 years later.
Love it. What do you think of the first open workout?
My legs were sore, my ankles were sore until like Tuesday of this week, and like my ankles, I think just from like wall balling. What do you think? My quads were really sore all weekend, but that's like was expected. I think it was just like, I don't know, getting old.
Getting old. Right.
What do you think?
I liked it. The time cap was aggressive.
Yeah, 12 minutes was aggressive.
It was a good 12-minute workout, so I enjoyed it. I enjoy the second one just came out, so pull-ups, muscle-ups, snatches, and lunges. Love it. I love it.
Yeah.
Some of my favorites.
I'm like my muscle-up journey has stalled a lot, and I think that I'm hopeful, I should say. I've done nothing to practice technique whatsoever. I'm just hopeful one day I'll be able to just fling myself up there. So maybe tomorrow will be the day.
All right, tomorrow we'll fling you up there. It'll be great. Sweet. So nice seamless transition to the topic for today. So we are going to be talking about strategies, tips, what we do as a couple and busy people, what we do to make sure we're exercising with super busy schedules.
Well, I actually do think this is a good transition because technique and practicing and putting extra reps in is not something that's very conducive to a busy schedule. So generally speaking, like I'm in here I'm in class for an hour and that's it for workout time for me during the day. Try to get in 5 to 6 days a week. But with that being said, I don't have a ton of extra time in my day to be able to spend outside of class practicing technique and drilling bar muscle up, ring muscle up, whatever it might be. Again, I'm just hopeful that one day it'll work out. But in all seriousness, like that's a very true reality where everyone has busy lives. Our priorities are in health and fitness and making sure that we're capable and able to kind of lead that trajectory through our lives and maintain that trajectory, but also trying to keep it as concise as possible. Like I have an hour to train every day. Like how can I do this as effectively as possible?
Yeah, I think we hear this a lot as owners of the gym, and we're here a lot and we interact with a lot of people. Mm-hmm. I think what we hear a lot is, I'm super busy, I don't have time, I'm super tired, I feel guilty that I'm spending time doing this by myself when I could be doing X, Y, and Z. Mm-hmm. And almost once a day, I would say I hear some variation of that from somebody, including ourselves. Like we're not immune to like this not being busy, being able to exercise just because we own a gym and we're here. Like we still have things that we have to do just like everybody else. And to your point, like that sometimes prevents you from doing extra work.
Right.
But I think we've done a good job, especially being busy with the gym and starting our family, and you work a full-time job in addition to doing this and some other hobbies that we have. Finding the time to prioritize exercise and our health and fitness so that the other aspects of our life, our family, our relationship, our ability to do things that we want to do doesn't fall by the wayside. And I want to be able to do the things that I like for as long as possible.
Yeah.
I want to be able to, I love CrossFit, so I want to be able to do that for as long as possible, but other things like bow hunting and stuff like that, where it's pickleball, it's fairly active.
Simply like going outside for a walk. I think that's another big thing, even though we haven't been able to do that very much with the weather recently. But I think that's another piece of it where it's like, I want to be able to condition ourselves, not so that we can, sprint or run or do whatever fast or whatever, but basically like getting to a point in our fitness where do I have the endurance to do X task is never a question, where it's like, okay, this might be challenging, but I do have the stamina. I've proven myself time and time again, or to myself time and time again in the gym, that I can do something difficult. And yes, it might be hard in the moment, but ultimately like it's going to get me to where I want to go, which is life outside of the gym.
Yeah. And I don't want my fitness or my health to ever be a question.
Right.
If someone's like, hey, do you want to come do this? Like, I don't want to be like, ooh, like I need to go train for that, or I'm not sure I could do that. I don't want that to ever stop me from doing something that's fun or exciting or that someone asked me to do because I'm not sure I can handle it fitness or health wise. Yeah. So that's kind of the why behind, like, I guess why I specifically want like exercise and CrossFit, but kind of pulling it back to more of like how to do this, how to continue making that a priority when you're super busy, because everyone's super busy. And I think at first, and you can kind of tell me what you think, but I think the first thing that has to happen before we get into the tactical, like do this type things, is there has to be a mindset shift, and you have to start prioritizing exercise over some other things that might be easier, like watching Netflix or sitting on the couch, whatever it is. But there needs to be a mindset shift of like, hey, this is really important. This is a non-negotiable. This is something I have to do in order for me to be able to do everything else. This isn't just like a luxury thing where it's like I could take it or leave it. If I want to show up and be super present for you and Cade, and
don't forget about the dogs
and of course, then I need that hour taking class, or even sometimes if I can't take class, I need that 15 to 20 minutes that I'm going to do really quick to like make myself feel better. It's just that time where I spend working on myself, so I show up better for everybody else.
Yeah.
I heard this somewhere recently, but it was a better me is a better everybody. And I think that's so true.
Yeah.
That's so true. I can't, if I show up the best I can be, I can then help everyone else become the best they can be. So I need that 15, 20 minutes, hour before I can start productively working on the things that are going to move the needle in whatever domain I'm in.
Yeah, I think that something that tested this for me was shortly after having Cade, when I was returning back to exercise, and also just like in that interim 6 weeks where there was a period of time where I wasn't doing any sort of like movement at all. And I needed to, a period of time, it was very short-lived, it was about a week, where we just hung out in the house and I wasn't leaving the house. Just trying to figure out like what our routine was going to be, what that looks like with a newborn in the house. And I remember saying to you, like, I need to get out. Like, I need to move my body in some way that maybe it's not it's definitely not at any sort of intensity, but just move and give myself some time and space to think and to reconnect with myself. And that's exactly what it turned into. And it was literally just taking a couple steps, going for a walk or coming in here and doing like very, very simple, slow moving movements. And also just connecting with other people, which was super important because again, when you're home with a newborn, like you're not talking to anyone, or you're talking to them, but you're not getting any sort of reciprocal conversation, and the dogs weren't giving me much. So, but to your point of just doing something small and making it a priority, I knew I needed to just prioritize some sort of movement in one way or another. Even if it wasn't exactly what I wanted to do. Of course, I wanted to sit there and hold him all day, or of course I wanted to take a nap or just get some rest. Like when you were home to relieve me, or we had people visiting to help out, it was like, no, first I need to move. And again, it wasn't sort of any sort of intensity at first. Then I can go on and be productive or do whatever. So I think it's just kind of coming to the understanding that like it doesn't need to be a massive time commitment, but it does, like adding that time shift in or adding that mindset shift in to prioritize the time is huge.
Yeah, absolutely. And so let's get into some of those things that we've seen worked, and we help people do this every single day. People come in, they have these exact questions like, hey, I have work, I have a family, I have this hobby, whatever it is. We help people do this every single day. So as we're going through this, if you're listening and you feel like you need help with any of this, go to our website, fill out the form for the free intro, and chat with us. And I'm happy to go over these things in more detail and more specifically to you. So let's hop in. The first thing that I found super effective for me in making sure that I get my workout in every single day is scheduling it on my calendar like it's a meeting. So I use Google Calendar. I'll literally put in, like if I'm taking class, I'll block off that section. I'll write workout, and it's a meeting with myself, and I'll even make it a different color so that it stands out and as like something that's super important. And I basically hold myself accountable to that. Like it's a meeting with myself. If somebody says they need something or like whatever it is, I can't. I have a meeting. This has to come first before other stuff. So I know you use Google Calendar.
I use Google Calendar. I also rely heavily on our members app. And the reason I say that is because it's very easy for me to just walk in the gym and check in, and that's fine. But if I sign myself up for class, I know that the check-in pad at the front is going to give a full list of everyone who was ever signed up for class. So with that being said, if I take myself out of class, I know my name's still going to be on the list. So while it might not be up on the big screen, my name's still going to be on the list because at some point I was signed up to come to class. So I know that in the back of my head that that's how that works. And maybe members, if you guys are listening, now you know how that works. And so I know that I'm holding myself accountable. And I know that as coaches, we check the roster before we are ready to coach the class. And so I know that if I make a reservation for class at 5:30 a.m. with Caitlin, like Caitlin's expecting me to be there. So I hold myself accountable that way. And I also think there's value in just setting the week on Sunday. I like to do that. I know that we talk about that often, just in how we plan our week, but also like in addition to like what are we eating for dinner, I'm also trying to figure out what days or when am I going to work out on what days of the week, and how is that going to feed into my work calendar? How is that going to feed into sessions that I have with clients in the gym? And just how is that going to set me up so that it's something that I can do. Maybe it's not always to start my day, but it's something that I get in every day. And again, it's an appointment with myself.
Yeah. And I do the very similar. I know you do it on Sunday. On Friday, I schedule a time on Friday for me to do my scheduling. So I will literally block 15 minutes, 15 to 30, and I'll write like scheduling. And I'll take that time on Friday to schedule my whole next week. And it doesn't always stay the same. Like you have the autonomy and authority to like move your schedule, of course, but at least I have something set where I know it's on there, and I can start holding myself accountable. Cool. Anything else you want to add on scheduling?
No, I just think that like owning the gym, we have like maybe the thought, or I think we've gotten better at this, but just over the years, like, oh, I can work out at any time. But like having that schedule and locking us into, I want to work out with class as much as I can. Working out during open gym is like not a good time.
I 100% would rather take class.
Every time I would rather take class. But B, if that's not going to happen, like how do I make sure that fits seamlessly in my schedule so that, going back to what we talked about in the beginning of the conversation, that it sets me up for the rest of my day, that I'm not distracted, that it's not just something looming over my head. And for me, that's like working out in the morning as much as I can. But again, it just depends on the day.
Sweet. Next would be keep the workouts short and effective. So even if you can't make a class, it doesn't need to be, you don't need to spend 2 hours in the gym. You definitely don't need to spend 2 hours in the gym. But if you can't make the hour-long class, like that doesn't mean just don't do anything.
Yeah.
So it's just keeping it short. 20 to 30 minutes is fine. 10 minutes is fine. Do something. If you're going to keep it really short, do something that involves a lot of muscle groups, squats, push-ups, pull-ups, if whatever it is. But do something every single day. Just keep it short, big muscle groups, and then move on with your day.
Yeah, I think something that, and perhaps we'll get into this later in the conversation, but something that people often assume is that it needs to be like maximal intensity and the circumstances need to be perfect every single time you work out. And that's just like not the reality of life. It's never going to be, it doesn't have to be a 6-hour endeavor. In fact, it definitely shouldn't be.
Absolutely should not be, unless you're hiking a mountain of some sort.
Yeah, exactly, which would require some planning in advance. It doesn't have to be that you have all of the equipment. You don't have to have the perfect outfit. You don't have to have the perfect shoes. Like if you can just get your body moving, it is a step in the right direction. And again, it does not need to be perfect circumstances.
Yeah.
It doesn't need to be sunny outside. It doesn't need to be 75 degrees. Like, sure, all of these things like feed into a good workout. Like, I'd love to run outside if it's 70 and sunny and I have new shoes and I have new sunglasses and like I feel good. But the reality is like that's not reality. And you don't have to wait for everything to be perfect to start.
Yeah. Just keep the momentum going. Do something.
Yep.
Don't let the ball stop rolling.
That's right.
To this exact point, yesterday we had in class, the workout was Flight Simulator. So if you're unfamiliar with a workout called Flight Simulator, it's an ascending and then descending ladder, 5 to 50 and then back down to 5 of unbroken double unders.
Yep.
And then we had some core work after that. But I was unable to participate in class yesterday. I was coaching the 4:30 class and it was about 4 o'clock and I had 30 minutes before class starts and I had yet to work out. And I knew I wasn't going to work out after the class. So this was a time where I originally had it on my schedule to start a little bit earlier, but I was kind of I was doing something. I knew I was going to start, but I grabbed the rope, put the clock on, started doing Flight Simulator immediately, and I PR'd my Flight Simulator. So it's a 8-minute workout. So it doesn't have to be.
Okay. That is not true.
Yes.
For some it is, but for
8 to 20, still in the short window.
Yes.
Still in a short window.
Unless you're me, which ended up being.
You finished pretty quick.
Okay, yeah, but like, if we're looking at total time I was doing double unders, it would be about 33 minutes.
All right. Well, that's
still under an hour, but nonetheless, yeah, I get your point.
Cool. All right.
It's also a mentally challenging workout. So
sweet. Next thing I would say is make it creative. It doesn't have to be in the gym jumping rope or lifting weights or a boring. Get creative with it. If you have a family, and do something active with your family. Like if you're like, oh, well, I don't want to miss family time to work out. Great, I totally get that. Do something active. Go for a walk. Go for a bike ride. Go play on the playground with your kid. Do something together. Make it fun. Doesn't have to be in the gym, jumping rope or doing whatever. Just get creative. Make it fun.
I think that
active,
there's also
as long as
like
you're moving.
a real potential for, like, obviously with the weather that we've been having, with the winter we've had, it's very easy to get sucked in and bogged down by like, oh, I'll just hang out inside with my kids. Yes, totally do that. I also know that like in our playroom at home, we have a couch. That said, the couch is really comfortable when Cade's just like puttering around and he's doing his thing and he's having fun. But movement is movement. Like the more that you can get up off the couch and help him or help pick up toys, or maybe you're playing like a catch or something like that. Like that's still movement and that's still exercise and a step above. Don't get me wrong. I was laying on the couch the other day watching him play, but there's also time and opportunity, particularly on those slow moving days when you don't have time to get anything in, to just get up and move with your kids, because chances are they would love to see it, even if it's dancing.
Oh, like a week ago, Kate and I were in the playroom, and I wasn't. It might have been like a Sunday, and so I wasn't getting to the gym, and I needed to do something. So while he was playing, I was doing sets of push-ups. Yeah. And he like loved it. Every time I went down to do push-ups, he was dying laughing. And then he actually went down and was doing like hilarious baby push-ups, like where he was just like bobbing his head up and down, like with his hands in like a plank position. So then he started mimicking what I was doing. It was really cool. But it was funny. And that's all I did that day, was just like a gazillion sets of push-ups. Yeah. And that was fine.
I was going to say, then you feel good after you moved a little bit and, a step above.
Yeah.
Being on the couch.
Yeah. Next is prepping ahead. Mm-hmm. So making sure you're doing the things to make your decision making as easy as possible when the time comes. So for example, at night, we do this almost every night, I would say. We lay out our clothes for the night before. Like I lay out my workout clothes because I know I'm going to be exercising. And that way I don't have to then make the decision of like, should I get my workout clothes or should I not? They're already there. I already made the decision last night. Prepping your food, laying out clothes, prepping your food, getting your space ready if you need to. So if you're someone who works out at home and you have equipment in your garage, making sure like the garage is ready to go in the morning, so you don't wake up and go, oh well, I have to back the car out and move some of the lawn equipment. Like that's going to take too much time. I'll do it tomorrow. So kind of eliminating those decisions so you can just wake up and then do what you need to do in as efficient of a time as possible.
Yeah, so I would argue that's challenging to do at night, particularly when you're just like trying to get to bed or you're trying to like wrap up your day. But it is substantially harder in the morning, a million less decisions that you need to make. What shirt am I wearing? Where are my leggings? Where are my leggings?
Yeah, I gotta get my leggings.
Like, oh, I don't have any socks in my drawer. Like, where are socks? Or this week we were doing laundry in the middle of the week, which like typically we do most of our laundry on the weekends. But those questions were answered or figured out at night when we were awake and aware, opposed to the morning. Except for when the dryer didn't go off. The dryer stopped drying clothes for some reason, which caused a little bit of where are my socks? But other than that, we have those questions answered so that when we wake up the next day, we have our breakfast figured out. We know what we need to, we know like coffee's ready to go. And decisions don't have to be made. They're almost like on autopilot so that we can get ourselves here, and ready to move or ready to do whatever we need to do.
Yeah, and to be more clear, we're not perfect with it.
Not at all.
This is something that we have just found hey, we should probably prep some of this stuff at night because then in the morning we don't have to. And sometimes at night the decision is hard too.
That's what I'm saying.
You know what? I'll just
do it in the morning.
Do the dishes in the morning. Yeah. I don't want to do this. So and it happens all the time. And then but I know in the morning that I just made it way harder for myself, and I just kind of have to live with it. But so we're absolutely not perfect with this.
No, far from it. But it's gotten better over years, and as we kind of find ways to optimize our day and our schedule, it just makes it substantially easier to just do it at night when you're already awake, you're already aware, versus in the morning. Then also sometimes we're getting ready at different times too. Yeah. And so that's another piece of it too, where I don't really want to be running around the room with a flashlight in the morning. It's just so much easier if I have my clothes set out, or so much easier if my breakfast is already kind of queued up, so that I know what I'm eating and ready to go.
Yeah, absolutely. Cool. Number 5, I would say be flexible. So be flexible in giving yourself some grace, in the sense of not every day needs to be a 10 out of 10 maximum intensity. If I didn't throw up after the workout, it didn't count.
Then I would have no workouts. Ever.
Just show up and do some work based upon how you're feeling that day. So it could like maybe you are feeling really good and you want to. It's Fran Day and you're feeling it, but maybe not. And like truthfully, most of the times you're not going to be quote unquote feeling it that day. And that again, that doesn't mean that you should just not do the workout. Keep the momentum going, and like chances are after you do whatever it is that you're doing, you're probably going to feel better. You're probably going to have more energy. You're going to be a little bit more confident. You're going to be a little bit more talkative and happy and cool, great. But don't just not do it. Just go into it with giving yourself some more grace. And it doesn't always have to be a 10 out of 10.
Yeah, we preach that often here at the gym, but just allowing members to like have full autonomy over their training. Like, yes, there's a workout on the board, and yes, we're going to guide you through it, and yes, we'll figure out ways that that you can do a version of the workout, but have autonomy and have the willingness to allow yourself the space and give yourself grace to do what's feeling good for today. Now, like peer pressure is also a thing. So just understand that you don't have to compare yourself to anybody here. Like everyone's in their own lane. People are doing their own thing, and fitness looks a lot of different things. But ultimately it's how you walk out the door. Like you feel better, you feel confident, you feel happier. Again, you got some movement in, and you generally didn't have to think much about it because we were there to guide you through it.
Yeah. Sweet. Our last tip on how to work through a busy schedule is get accountability. Get a partner, get a training partner, get an online coach, join a gym, get somebody who's going to do it with you, or at least hold you accountable to it. Get a community. It is significantly easier to do something that's like working out is hard, exercise is hard, CrossFit is hard. It's way easier to get up in the morning and go do that when you know somebody is there waiting for you, or somebody else is like also coming to do that exact same thing. So get an accountability partner. Is probably the easiest one on here to do. Text anyone. Text your best friend from high school. Text your mom. Text your dad. Do like anybody. Text somebody in your first 10 contacts, and I'm sure you'll have somebody who would be interested in also
either training with you or also just like, hey, you said you're going to do this thing. Are you doing it? You know, just interested in checking in on you and making sure that you're holding to your word.
Yeah.
Even though this is my number one accountability partner, and sometimes you just don't want to listen to it, but it is helpful. Like, so helpful. But going back to like what I said about signing up for class is, you sign up for class, you have a group of people who are also signing up for class that will be there, and a coach who's waiting for you. Yeah.
This one always makes me think of CJ. If you're a member here at the gym, you know CJ. And there was one brutal Echo Bike workout that we did. This was like months and months and months ago, but maybe even close to a year ago. But he comes in, like crushes the workout. And then it's just like, there's absolutely no way I would have done that by myself. This is just one that I'm not waking up and doing this by myself at home. I need people here with me
that are also doing this.
And like, that's literally the point. That's the point, is it's hard, and nobody really wants to do Echo Bike sprints at 6:30 in the morning. That's like not the first thing on most people's list. So I just always go back to CJ, that conversation that we had during after that workout, and just the power of finding your people and your community.
That's right.
Obviously, that's something that we do here really well at CrossFit Topside, is giving you and providing that coaching and community, and you could go online, do this by yourself in your garage. Or you can also go to a gym. But it's something that we specialize in, and if that's something you need help with, again, fill out that form on our website, and happy to chat. We're going to be putting out several more videos on this topic, on how to crush your first CrossFit class and continue to work around busy schedules. If you're at all interested in what we do in here and kind of what happens and the results that you could see, check out our last video with Truck. Truck is 60 and he lost 70 pounds here at our gym in about a year and a half, 2 years. So check out that video and stay tuned for our next one.
That's right.
All right,
Thanks,
guys.
everyone. See you next week.
Thanks for listening to this episode of the Above the Standard podcast.
If you found this episode helpful to you, please share it so we can help others in the Central Connecticut area.
For more information or to start your journey, reach out to us on social media or visit CrossFitTopside.com.
Until next time, keep striving to live above the standard.